Bhaktivedan At the time of Abhishek.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought someone would do it.
Mahamantra?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare
Nityalila Krishna Bhaktivedan Swami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Krishna Bhakti Pragyan Kesar Swami Maharaj ki jai. Nityalila Krishna Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Sri Prabhupada ki jai. Bhagavan Sringadev Chaturdarshi ki. Bhakti Baba Prahlad Maharaj ki. Shri Lakshmi Nrsimha ki. Sarva Vigna Manasankari Shri Sringadev ki jai. Go Premanande. Yatripatamam Vande Sri Guru Dinatharina Panchakalpaduruyascha Kripasambhavevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Saundajakam Sakala Jana Samala Dimi Chandrakoti Vatsalya Mantrakoti Tridasavitana Modo Jakoti Gambiram Bodhakoti Maduramani Sudaksi Madhvika Koti Gauradev Sajiva Rasapade Dashamascha Jakoti Bhajami Radham Madhavinda Netram Smarami Radham Madhudasmitasyam Vadami Radham Guruna Vadaram Tato Manoyasti Devakapa Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I offer my humble obeisances millions of times at the lotus feet of my Gurudev, Nityalila Vishnupad Srisman Bhaktivedan Narayan Goswami Maharaj. Also our Shiksha Gurus, Nityalila Parishta Sri Gaur Govinda Maharaj, Nityalila Parishta Bhaktivedan Manan Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhaktivedan Trivikram Goswami Maharaj, Pujapad Bhaktivedan Madhusudan Maharaj, also Pujapad Bhaktivedan Avadut Maharaj, Vaishnavis, thank you for coming. All auspicious day, appearance day of Lord Nrsimhadev. So we have so many obstacles in our spiritual life. Who will remove those obstacles? Krishna has time. He is absorbed in Vrindavan. So that incarnation, who specially comes to this world to remove our obstacles, that is Lord Nrsimhadev. So today we'll try to discuss his appearance, the wonderful pastimes of the Lord and his devotees like Hiranyakasipu, other exalted persons. So that is all described in the 7th canto of the Bhagavad Purana. In regards to the question asked by Yudhisthira Maharaj to Narada Rishi, the Supreme Lord is partial or impartial? That is the question. Partiality in this world is a fault. Therefore, the Supreme Lord, does he possess it or not? Now, in answer to these questions, how the Lord is equal to everyone, whether devotee or demon, then Narada Rishi told the history of Nrsimhadev to Prahlad Maharaj. So hear very carefully. Because the Lord appeared at sunset. So we'll fast until then, we'll perform Abhishek and other things. These days are very powerful, these fasting days. As described in his previous life, Prahlad Maharaj was a Brahmin. But he was attached to a prostitute. Then in due course of time he ran out of money. No money, no honey. So he was rejected by the prostitute. And he was so broken-hearted he went to the forest on this day. And all day he did not eat, he did not drink. He could not sleep because he was so disturbed. Therefore, unknowingly, he attained the result of fasting on the appearance day of Lord Vishnu. If by forming these activities knowingly or unknowingly, one achieves a result that is called Bhakti Umuk Sukriti. That means knowingly or unknowingly some connection is there with Krishna, Krishna's devotees. That gives a spiritual result like a bank account. Bhaktistu Bhagavata Sangena Parajayate Satsanga Purvati Puri Sukriti Purva Sanchita. And when that Sukriti is accumulated over many, many lifetimes, that one gets the association of the devotees of Krishna. So by the result of that, he got the association of Narada Rishi in the womb, and we will discuss that. But this history goes over several chapters of third canto, history of the fall of Jaya and Vijaya. So, anyone here for first time? Put up your hand. So, for the new people also, I'll try and explain it in a way that is a little accessible for them. The Supreme Lord is complete. He is the complete whole. Om Puna Puna Vida Puna Puna Sudachita. Therefore, no matter how many complete wholes emanate from the complete whole remains completely whole. Translate that into Spanish. But therefore, completeness is part of him, but incompleteness must also be part of him. Otherwise, he's not the complete whole. Everything must be. Therefore, his incompleteness is also perfect. Say that again. He is smaller than the smallest, but he also is the bigger than the biggest. He has no birth, but he takes birth from the womb of your soul. In Bhagavad Gita he says, Vijaham Pita. I am the seed-giving father of all creation, but he also has a father. He is self-satisfied, yet he feels hunger. He has no unfulfilled desires, but he desires the love and affection of his devotees. He is the absolute truth, but he lies. All purity comes from him, but he steals. In a material sense, these are all dichotomies, opposites. One of the nature of the Supreme Lord, all opposites are easily reconciled within him. Viruddha Dharma Asraya, Vedanta Sutra says. All opposites are within him. How possible? By his power of Achintya Shakti, inconceivable potencies. What is impossible easily becomes accomplished for him, only by desire. Okay? So you cannot say God cannot. That is one rule of Krishna consciousness movement. Get a t-shirt. Cannot does not exist. Nothing is impossible for him. In fact, what is impossible is easily accomplished. Agatana Agatana Patasya Shakti. Whatever he wants, even though it's impossible, can be achieved. So, Lord Narayan maintains the creation. He is the complete whole. But he had an unfulfilled desire. I have so much strength. Who will I fight with? In the spiritual world, all are devotees. The material world is here, the spiritual world is there. In the spiritual world, all are devotees, all are favorably inclined towards the service of the Lord. Therefore, in the spiritual world, who will he fight with? Understand? No one to fight with. Therefore, he felt incompleteness, dissatisfaction. Therefore, the devotees is always the desire to fulfill the desires of the Lord. Kama, kama, niyam. Devotee uses all their desires to fulfill the desires of Krishna. Therefore, there were two gatekeepers of the spiritual world. Their names were Jaya and Vijaya. They have completely spiritual bodies just like the Supreme Lord. There's no difference. They could understand our Lord is not happy. He wants to fight. We will fight with him. But we cannot fight with him because we're devotees. If you're pretending to fight someone, you cannot have that absorption. You can only fight someone when you hate them. How we can hate the Lord, how we can fight with him, how we can fulfill his desire. The devotees felt distressed. How we can please him. To please him, we have to hate him. Therefore, they also prayed. Therefore, Krishna arranged everything. I will fulfill my desire, I will fulfill your desires also. Krishna's energy which fulfills his desire is called Ichcha Shakti. So one day the 4 Kumars, they're the oldest created beings, but they never appear older than 5 days old. When they were created, their father said you should populate the human race. What they call progenitor. And they asked, Father, what's the goal of human life? The goal of human life is to achieve pure love of God, Krishna Prem. And the boy said, then how marry and help us achieve that? We will not marry. Therefore, they stayed as small children to avoid marriage. Even though they are billions and billions of years old, they're always Kumar, means young age, 4 or 5. Always they move around with no clothes. So, they went to the spiritual world to see Lord Narayan. The nature of children, one benefit, they can go anywhere, normal stuff. They passed through the 6 gates of Vaikuntha, they came to the inner chamber of the Lord. Then Jain Vijay stopped them. Hey, where are you going? You cannot pass. Now Lord Narayan is taking rest. Then the 4 Kumaras became angry. What? Who do you think you are? You are thinking in terms of friend and enemy, insider and outsider. I like him, I don't like him. He can go inside, he cannot go inside. That means you are absorbed in duality. That is not fitting in the spiritual world. In the spiritual world there is no duality. Everyone has one purpose, the happiness of Krishna. But you have a mentality of dualism. Therefore you should not be in the spiritual world. We curse you to take birth as demons. So it's a long story. Lord Narayan himself came out. I fully approve of the punishment you have given. My devotees are very dear to me. Even if my own arm commits an offense to my devotee, I will cut it. Krishna says, all my happiness, all my reputation, all comes from the devotees. I cannot live without them. I don't know anything else except them. If there were no devotees in this world, who would have ever heard of Krishna? No. All the worship of Krishna, all the glorification of Krishna, all the service of Krishna that is going on in this world is going on only because of the devotees. So Lord Narayan, I agree with your curse. Therefore the 2 perfected souls, Jai and Vijay, took birth in this material world as demons. To fulfill their desire, to fulfill the desire of the Supreme Lord. So they were filled with hatred for Krishna. And they were not pretending. Therefore they took birth through the womb of Aditi. Kasyap Rishi had 2 wives, Diti and Aditi. From Diti came the race of demons, and from Aditi came the race of devas, divine persons. So it so happened that one day Diti became possessed with the desire to have a son. So in everything there's rules and regulations. In sex life there is also rules and regulations. If you follow those rules and regulations, you'll have a good child. And if you do not follow those rules and regulations, you will be punished. Therefore Diti approached her husband, Kasyap Rishi, at the time of dusk. So one should not have sex early in the morning or late at dusk. Why? At that time Lord Shiva moves everywhere. Lord Shiva, he has many names. One of his names is Bhutanath. He's in charge of the ghosts and spirits. Those persons who no one else will accept, he accepts. Therefore he's very kind and very merciful. That time Diti grabbed hold of her husband's cloth and possessed with so much desire to have a son, please fulfill my desire. Means you should have sex with me, I want a son, I want a son. Then Kasyap Rishi said, now is not a good time. Come back later. But again, sex desire is so powerful, who can check? We hear in this world huge emperors, kings. I heard that today the IMF bank, head of the IMF bank was busted. Good riddance. So powerful men, but they are also controlled by sex desire. Bill Clinton, most powerful man in the world, but he was controlled by a woman young enough to be his daughter. And I saw a funny cartoon. Bill Clinton was saying, "I control the world." And then from his fly was coming another speech, "And I control him." So sex desire is so powerful. One time in Costa Rica there was one punk. I was talking with him in the park. He goes, "We've got to escape from the system." I said, "What do you mean? Sex life is the system." Sex life is what binds the soul to this world. So even Diti, she could not check again and again. She approached her husband because she was very beautiful and also he loved her very much. Kasaprishi could not control himself. Therefore, doing obeisances to what do you call it, destiny. He slept with his wife in an inauspicious time. So those two souls, Jaya and Vijay, who had been cursed to take birth as demons, entered the semen of Kasaprishi and entered into the womb of his wife, Diti. Therefore, at the time of the birth of those two demons, there were so many earthquakes, solar eclipse, typhoons. When there's an earthquake, that means a very, very evil soul just appeared in this world. So there were so many inauspicious signs, inauspicious symptoms. That time the two boys took birth, the demons Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasipu. Hiran means gold. Hiranyaksha. He was always looking, where is gold, where is wealth? So much I have, Krishna says in Gita, that is the nature of the demons. So much I have today, more I will have tomorrow. They are never satisfied. No matter how much wealth they have, always I want more and more. How many frijoles you eat at night? How many tacos? How many chapatis you need? That much you should have. Collecting more and more and more. At the time of death, you do not take even one hair with you. What you're collecting so much for? The demons have no pure intelligence. Demon doesn't mean they have red hair and pointed teeth. Demons mean they have unfulfilled, so unlimited material desires. No control of the senses. That person is classified as well. So the two sons were born, Hiranyaksha, always looking where his wealth, and Hiranyakasipu, he had an extra good quality, he was always looking for women as well. Hiranyakasipu. Therefore Hiranyaksha was very powerful. Therefore he ruled, he moved all over the universe and controlled it by the strength of his arms. But he was also not satisfied. There's no one in this world to fight with him. So by good fortune, he met the great devotee Narad Muni. You know, Narad always has like a veena. What do you call veena in English? Banjo. String banjo. Then the demon always carried a big club, Hiranyaksha. Then he saw Narad Muni in the distance. He challenged Narad Muni. He thought maybe he has come to fight. Ah! The Narad Muni couldn't see so far. He also raised his veena. Hey, Haribol! Hiranyakasipu, oh, you want to fight? The Narad Muni said, Haribol, I cannot fight. I'm too weak. You want to fight with someone? Only one person that will fight with you. Who is that? Lord Narayana, Krishna. Krishna. He will fight with you. How to find him? And Narad Muni gave him instructions how you can find him and fight with him. Even the demons cannot see the Supreme Lord without some instruction from the Vaishnavas, from the devotees. That time, Hiranyaksha was killed by the boar incarnation. That boar incarnation is called Varahadev. They fought for thousands of years. Then finally the Lord slapped him with his left hoof, and Hiranyaksha fell dead. That time, all the wives of Hiranyaksha were weeping, my husband, my husband. So that time, the brother of Hiranyaksha, his name was Hiranyakasipu, he came there at that time. So one nature of demons, they know all philosophy, but they never practice it in their own lives. Srila Bhama Maharaj used to say, these days people say, where are you guys going? Come on, Don't chicken out. Come on, it's only 1 hour. What you'll do this afternoon, you haven't done millions of times before. And no benefit to you. Stay for the other shit. Come on. Yeah. You've done everything. You might as well say, I survived 1 class of Dhamma March. These days, modern people, they say, oh, do as I say, don't do as I do. That is modern day society. They spend their whole lives telling everyone else, you do this, you do this, you do this, but they never do it themselves. That is useless. Hiranyakasipu was like that. He knew all philosophy and he never practiced it in his life. Doesn't it remind you of someone? That is demon mentality. So, Hiranyakasipu, he gave so many good instructions to the wives of his dead brother. He told one story. 7:30 we finish. Right? Hiranyakasipu, there was one king called Suyagya. He was killed in battle and all his wives were coming. My husband, my brother, my father, my friend, my king. All the citizens were weeping. Therefore the god of death, Yamaraj, could not take the soul because wives were too much chased. So that time Yamaraj came in the form of a small boy. He came in the middle of the funeral. What's happening? Why is everyone crying? And the wife said, you are a small boy, you cannot understand. Still, if you tell me, then I can know. Please tell me what's happening. Our husband is dead. And the boy said, dead? Dead? What do you mean dead? He's sleeping. And the wife like, he is not sleeping. He is dead. The soul has gone away from the body. And the boy said, maybe he went for lunch, just wait an hour. He'll come back, don't cry, he'll come back. And the wife said, no one comes back from death. And the boy said, I am not foolish, you are fools. Why are you crying for something which will never be? You are crying for that which cannot be changed, therefore you are the fools. I am not foolish. And the boy asked, so the soul and the body are different? Yes, yes. Oh, what did the soul look like? Your husband's soul. Was he tall? Was he thin? Was he godo? Was he fat? Was he black? Was he white? What did the soul look like? The wife said, we don't know, we never saw that soul. The Yamaraj said, you are the fool. You are crying for someone you never knew. You are crying for his death, but you are not thinking your death is also coming. So many good instructions he gave. And he pacified this suffering of the wife. Therefore, all misery is removed by knowledge, not by medical marijuana. Therefore, Hiranyakasipu became very angry. This Lord Krishna has killed my brother. Why? He is a very foolish person, Krishna. Because the devotees are always giving him so much food. You'll see tonight how many things we give to Krishna. The devotees are always feeding him and glorifying him. They're giving him so much service, he's so much inclined towards them. Therefore, he's like a foolish child. And like a small child, give toffees, give toffees, give toffees. The kid becomes your best friend. Lord Krishna has become foolish. He's given up his neutral mentality of equality and equanimity and become like a foolish child, inciting with the demigods against us. Therefore, I shall kill him. With my trident I shall cut his head from his body and drink his blood. Then I can be peaceful. Another symptom of demons, they always eat dead animals, dead flesh. Therefore I will finish all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees. No more Harikatha, no more recital of the scriptures, no more worship, no more yajna. I will cut down all the mango, the fruit trees. I will kill all the cows, all the banana trees, all type of auspicious things I will kill. Why? Then there will be no devotees left, no religious, no service to the Lord. Krishna will become very weak and thin because he's not getting fed. And when he comes to me begging a few free holies and tapas, and I'll kill him. He was thinking. Therefore, I will engage myself in the business of killing the Supreme Lord. Therefore, he ordered his demons, you should go to the earth planet. And what should you do? You should kill all the Brahmanas. You should destroy, kill all those people who are engaged in austerity, sacrifice, Vedic studies, vows, and charity. Kill them all. You should kill all the cows. Because from the cows come milk products, and milk products are very dear to Krishna. Therefore, when all the devotees are killed, there will be no one left to guide the society. Then society will become chaos. There will be no religious practices at all. Therefore, you should go wherever there is protection of the cows and the Brahmanas, wherever the Vedas are studied, wherever there are religious principles. You should destroy all those things. Lord Krishna is like a tree. When you cut the root, the tree will fall. What is this modern society? Demonic society. Kill the cows, kill Brahminical culture. Prabhupada used to say, if they knew what I was doing, they would kill me in a second. But no one's broadcasting this lecture. Thus, if there's no one left to serve the Supreme Lord, he will become weak and thin, and victorious. Therefore, he sent his demons to perform all these activities. Meanwhile, he thought, I need some extra strength, some extra power. I should perform austerities. Therefore, he went to Mandachana, and he performed austerities for 60,000 years, standing on his tippy toes with his hands in the air. He worshipped the creator of the material universe named Lord Brahma. What austerities he did, this is austerities in the mode of ignorance. For example, there's worship in the mode of ignorance, worship in the mode of passion, and worship in the mode of ignorance. Animal sacrifice, flagellating yourself with fish hooks, wearing camel hair shirts. This is all religious things, but all in the mode of ignorance. Just giving suffering to yourself and suffering to others. Therefore, while Hiranyakashipu was performing austerities for 60,000 years, when he began his meditation, Narada Rishi, the great devotee, and Augusta Rishi took the form of small birds. So when he was trying to meditate, the small birds were chanting, Vishnu, Vishnu, Krishna, 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 Krishna. So it's very hard to meditate with some noise in the background. Have you ever tried meditating when there's a clock on the wall? So especially someone who hates Krishna, then he's hearing Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Hiranyakashipu became furious. He tried to kill the birds, he could not find them because they were devotees. His mind was completely agitated. He stopped his meditations, he went to his wife. At the time he slept with his wife. At the time of conceiving, what was he thinking? Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. Because he was God conscious at the time of conceiving the child was born as the great devotee Prahlad. Prahlad Maharaj ki. So while Hiranyakashipu was in the heavenly planets performing his austerities, standing on his toes, then the demigods thought, now is a chance. They took over the universe again. And they thought, we will kill the child in the womb. Because the seed of a demon must also be a great demon. Keshav, want to be thrown in the oven? Come on, we've got to get in the mood. The demon's torturing children. So, they went to kill the child who was in the womb of the wife of Hiranyakashipu. Her name was Kayadu. So when they went to kill the child, that time in, Narada Muni came, you cannot kill this child. He is a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord. He is protected by the arms of Vishnu. He will not be a cause of inauspiciousness for the world. He will be a cause of great auspiciousness. So the demigods believed the words of Narada Rishi, and Narada Rishi took the young girl to his ashram to protect her. She stayed in his ashram for the length of time he was performing austerities, 60,000 years. And what is Narada Muni always talking about? Krishna. Matkata Mristat Sravanti Kadayanti Cha. The nature of the devotees, always speaking about Krishna. Therefore, for 60,000 years, Narad Muni was speaking topics of Krishna to the pregnant wife of Hiranyakasipu. Her name was Kayadu. Who was hearing all the instructions while in the womb? Prahlad. Therefore, Harikatha, even in the womb, the baby gets so much benefit. So when the child was born, he was born with perfect knowledge. Why? Because 60,000 years he heard from such a devotee like Narad Rishi. So hearing is the most powerful aspect of spirituality. 9 ways of serving the Lord. The first is Shravan, hearing about Him. Because unless you hear about Him, you don't know who He is, or what He is, how He is, how to please Him, how to serve Him. So everything is by hearing. So meanwhile, in Mandachal mountain with his hands in his air, he was worshipping. 60,000 years, his body was consumed by ants. All the flesh was stripped off his body, only the bones remained. Because he was such a powerful yogi, he did not die. Fire was coming from the top of his head. All the demigods prayed to Lord Brahma, please save us. So Lord Brahma came and he said, Hiranyakasipu, I am very pleased by your austerities. And throwing water from his kamandalu, that is gone. In the body of the demon's body became again, how we say, refreshed, like a thunderbolt. Hiranyakasipu fell on the ground in ecstasy. Oh Lord, give mercy. Please fulfill my desire. Then Lord Brahma said, whatever you want, I will give you. What do you want? I want to become immortal. Lord Brahma said, in this world, no one can be immortal. Even I am killed. Even I killed the bucket. Even I give up this body. In this world, in this material world, that no one can be immortal. Choose another benediction. Hiranyakasipu was so clever. In one benediction, he took 12 benedictions. What was that? Okay, please give me the benediction. I will not be killed in the daytime or the nighttime. I will not be killed on the ground or in the sky. I will not be killed by anything living or dead. I will not be killed by any man or any beast. I will not be killed by any weapon. I will not be killed by anything created within this universe. I will not be killed within the 12 months of the year. The demons think they are very clever. The Supreme Lord is always more intelligent. Hiranyakasipu, now thinking he was immortal, he began his reign of destruction of the universe. His wife had 4 sons, of which the youngest was the pure and perfect devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Therefore, Hiranyakasipu sent his son to the material education system. Prabhupada said the modern day education system is like a slaughterhouse. People come out after 12 years. How many years you go to school? 12 years in Australia. From preschool to the end of high school, 13 years, 14 years. Then you have to go to college, if you're unlucky enough, 4 more years. You do an MA, PhD. How long is an MA, Pankaj? 2 years, 16 years, 18 years. You come out of that, you're just a donkey. No idea what is the soul, what is the goal of life. One time I was on the bus, and there was a guy with 2 PhDs next to me in medical science. First I was a little intimidated, but I thought, let me have a go. I said, oh, that's amazing. Of course, you must be able to tell me where life comes from. No idea. 2 PhDs in medical science. And they said, you've wasted 20 years of your life, you have no more knowledge than an animal. Animal thinks I'm this body, and to satisfy this body is the goal of life. That's the material education system. So Prahlad was forced to enter modern schools. What do they teach you? How to fill the stomach. That's about it. Therefore they try to educate him on all types of materialistic topics. But Prahlad Maharaj never took anything, accepted anything they gave him. Of course, he was a good student, but he never accepted their instructions. He always remembered the instructions he got from his spiritual master. That is real knowledge. We heard yesterday, Maharaj Ramananda Roy, Tara Vidya Roy Koi, Tara Vidya Made Kona Vidya Sad Krishna Bhaktivedan Vidya Nahiya. of all types of education, what is the best type of education? Mahaprabhu said, Krishna Bhakti is the only knowledge, there is no other knowledge. So, his father was very happy when Prahlad came back from boarding school. His teachers, Hiranyakashipu's guru, his name was Sukra Acharya. Sukra Acharya means, especially in India, they have a seminal system of disciplic succession. My father's a guru, therefore I'm also a guru. Therefore Sukra in Sanskrit means senior. For those who believe that spiritual qualification is passed on by semen, that is called complete bodily concept of life. And Sukracharya is in charge of that. I don't want to disrespect Sukracharya, he's also a great personality. Yes, we'll discuss him later. But that idea that is represented by Sukracharya, he only has one eye. Bhamandev poked it out in the previous incarnation. Why? Because some gurus only see one thing. What do they see? Material, what can I get from my disciple? How I can get wealth, how I can get real estate, how I can get sex, how I can get many things. So a so-called guru who only sees material life, what he can extract from his disciple, that is, the person who has one eye. If anyone who has an eye damaged in one eye, that means last life they made some obstacle for someone's devotion. Very good. So Sukracharya's two sons, Sanda and Amarka, they were all branches of materialistic knowledge like him. With Sanda and Amarka. Arka means son. Amarka, that person who cannot see anything, who's completely blind. And Sanda, no knowledge of the soul, the super soul. There were these two teachers who were always instructing Prahlad on the materialistic goals of life. Dharma, Artha, Karma. Religiosity, mundane, materialistic religiosity. Perform good works in this world, you will enjoy this life and the next life. Materialistic concept. Artha, collect as much wealth as you can, by studying Artha. Karma, enjoying the senses. Dharma, Artha, Karma. Always instructing him on that. Prahlad never took any of their instruction. So when he came back from Gurukul, Hiranyakashipu was very happy. My dear son, he embraced him. So much affection he had for Prahlad, tears were flowing from his eyes. My dear son, what is the best thing you learned from your guru? What's the best thing you learned at school? Then baby Prahlad, who was only 5 years old, he said, Tat sadhu manye sujavajade himam sadasamam vyada sadgrihan hidvatma patam griham andakutam vano ganam yatam harimasaya. Oh Father, the best thing I learned. Oh, best of the demons. Hiranyakashipu was very humble. Hiranyakashipu never disrespected his father, but he never listened to anything he said. He never disrespected. Therefore, this means expert. When Scripture says to neglect someone, what does it mean? Guru Maharaj said it means to cheat. You should neglect someone in such a way they don't even know they're being neglected. It means with materialistic persons, don't discuss spiritual life so openly, especially if they're envious. How's your dog? How's your wife? How's your kids? How's your business? Great, fantastic. Guru Maharaj said that person was leaving thinking he loves me very much, but actually he was completely cheated. So those who are demons, or those who are envious of Gurudev, the Vaishnavas, we should cheat them. How? Neglect them. Don't discuss their inside life. Otherwise they'll take it and destroy it. So Prahlad, he always respected his father, but he never took his instruction. There's a difference. So Prahlad said, Father, the best thing I learned, materialistic persons are always in anxiety because they're always meditating on what is temporal. Therefore they find no peace, no satisfaction. They're like a man who has fallen into a dry well. Before submersible pumps, the farmers would take water from the well, and the villagers would take water from the well. Sometimes the well would become dry, and the well would become covered over by grass. What's that well covered by grass? For a man that is a woman, for a woman that is a man. The guy goes, oh, nice grass. He falls down the well. On the way he was falling, he grabs hold of one branch. and one tiger is looking over the boat. I cannot climb up, the tiger will take my life. He looked down and so many snakes were there waiting. He cannot go up, he cannot go down. And he is holding onto that branch is being chewed by one white rat and one black rat. How many times did you explain this? Last time we were here, we heard this. That white rat in that branch represents someone's life, their lifespan. When you're born with a certain number of breaths, according to what you've done in your previous life. So don't waste it running marathons. And so that's why sex life, excessive sex life also shortens your life. There's so much breathing. So that is your lifespan. And what is taking away our lifespan? Day and night. That is the two rats. So on that branch, such a horrible position, we could be killed any moment. How many of us will be alive tomorrow? For many in this room, maybe someone in this room, it could be their last night on earth, but we never think of these things. We have our lifespan. Therefore, on that branch was a beehive. So, because he was shaking the beehive, so many bees were biting him. That means all the problems of this world. IRS, police, wife, children, so-called friends, enviousness at work, disease, no health insurance, price of gas. There's like millions of wasps biting us there. But what happens? From that wasp nest, some honey was coming. And the guy was one drop and he forgot everything. Oh my goodness. What is that honey? That is sex life. We are working like donkeys 24 hours. And wife or husband gives us one drop of honey and we forget everything. Prahlad Maharaj said, this is what I learned. Therefore one should give up all of this and go to Vrindavan. One should give up all material attachment and go to the holy place, especially Vrindavan, and take shelter of Krishna and chant. That's what I learned. That's the best thing. Hiranyakasipu laughed. Because a small child is speaking such knowledge, Hiranyakasipu never took it seriously. He laughed. Thus the child's intelligence is spoiled by the enemy. Last night we saw that drama. We're going to see it again. Last night they did this drama. Very nice.
If you guys are recording.
Okay, don't worry. I think we had more than enough last night.
So much.
I think that drama will keep it going for another few years. So, point being, Hiranyakasipu never took it seriously, the instructions of Prahlad, small child. He thought, must be some devotees are sneaking into my school and instructing my son about devotional service. The Hiranyakasipu called the two teachers, Sandanamaka, take care. How a small child could speak about devotion. They will make sure no Vaishnavas come here in disguise. Protect my son. Yes, Lord. And the teachers were asking, Prahlad, where you got this knowledge from? We never instructed you on this. And Prahlad said, what can I say? This knowledge is natural for me. Just like a piece of iron is attracted by a magnet. In the same way, my mind is automatically attracted to the Supreme Person. It has no cause. This knowledge is natural. Sandanamaka became angry. Don't you speak these things again. Then they tried to correct Prahlad. There's so many ways you can control someone. If you want to hear, sometimes it comes in handy. The devotees will never use these things. Sometimes you can control someone by glorifying. Tina Bandhu, you play the nicest Vedanta. Your hands are so great. Maybe you could use those hands in washing pots. It's like glorifying that you can control someone. If that doesn't work, you can offer a bribe. Tina Bandhu, you wash the pots. We'll feed you. So by bribing someone, you can control them also. If that doesn't work, you can cause what's called bed, divide. How come you never wash the pots? Pankaj always washes the pots. Where's Vidura? Vidura always washes the pots. Why did you wash the pots? Vidura is great. then you cause dissension. Oh, I can also be like the Jew, I also wash the pots. And if that doesn't work, you can use danda. You don't wash the pots, you're going to bash it up. Danda. So these 4 ways materialistic persons control each other. But devotees, we never use these. Guru Maharaj says we always control by love and affection. So they try to control Prahlad by these 4 materialistic ways, but Vaishnava is never controlled by these. The Guru can only be controlled by affection and love, not by anything else. Prahlad. So they put him in the school system again, they tried to correct him. Then again, Hiranyakasipu called his son. What's the best thing you learned at school? What did Prahlad answer? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Bharasevanam, Achanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanavedanam, Iti Pumsapida Vishnu, Bhaktischanavalakshanam, Kriti Bhagavata, Madita Adata Uttamam. Prahlad, oh Father, the best knowledge that I learned is one should surrender to the Supreme Lord. And having surrendered to Him under the guidance of Guru, one should perform the 9 limbs of devotion: hearing, chanting, remembering, offering prayers, worship in the temple, becoming a servant of the Lord, becoming the friend of the Lord, and surrendering everything to the Lord, and serving the feet of the Lord. 9 limbs of devotion. Now we get Bhakti. 9 ways, that is topmost knowledge. There's nothing superior to that. That's the best thing I learned. Oh, was Daddy happy to hear that? You are talking about service to my enemy, Krishna, Vishnu? His father became furious. You cannot be rectified. Therefore, even though you are my son, you should be rejected. Just like if you have an infected finger, you should amputate the finger to save the hand. To save a family, you have to sacrifice one member. To save the country, you have to sacrifice a village. To save the hand, you have to sacrifice a finger. In the same way, even though you are like related to me, like a thumb, you have taken the side of my enemy, Krishna. Therefore, you should be killed. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, you'll see in this world who is your friend when you begin the process of devotion. As long as Prahlad remained silent about the process of devotion, his father gave him so much love. But as soon as Prahlad spoke about the service of Krishna, his own father turned against him. So all of you will find out. When we come to Gurudev, we think we have so many friends. When we come to Gurudev, then you'll find out who is your real friends or not. It's very interesting. Therefore, Hiranyakasipu came against his own son. He would kill him. If they tried to kill Prahlad, many things Hiranyakasipu said. The demon dynasties are like a forest of sandalwood. And Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu, he is the axe to cut down the demons. To cut down an axe, you need its handle. Who is the handle? That is this so-called son of Prahlad. Oh Prahlad, you think you know more than me? I have also heard from my Guru, Sukracharya. I have also performed big austerity. I also have knowledge of the Vedic scriptures. And Prahlad said, but Father, oh Father, Nanti Vedu Swagatam Hi Vishnu, Durasaya Bahiratamanias, Danta Gove Vishatam Tanishwan Puna Puna Chavata Chavala. Mito Apaditi Griha Pratanam Adanta Gove Vishatam Tanishwan Puna Puna Chavata Chavala. Prahlad Maharaj gave very, very sweet instruction. Those who have no devotion, they can never understand the scriptures. Therefore, Nanti Vedu Swagatam Hi Vishnu. Because you are opposed to the Supreme Lord, you cannot understand that service to the Supreme Lord is for your benefit. Someone gives $5 in the donation box. Whose benefit is that for? That's for Krishna's benefit or your benefit? Someone cooks an offering and gives to Krishna. Krishna needs your rice and beans. Krishna doesn't need anything. He's the self-sufficient Supreme Personality. What are you going to give Him? So therefore, serving Krishna is not for Krishna's benefit, it's for your own benefit. Therefore Prahlad said, you cannot understand that service to Krishna is actually for your own good fortune, not for Krishna's good fortune. There were those who go against the service of Krishna, they're just spiting themselves. In English we say, cut off the nose to spite the face. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told a history. There was one man who was angry at the sky. Therefore, what did he do? What happened? The goober goes in the air and comes back on your own face. For those who think they will cause some pain to the Supreme Lord by not serving Him, they're just giving pain to themselves. So many stories like that. Saraswati Thakur, even though he was a great philosopher, he'd always tell little histories, Upadeshavas. Therefore we think, I will give suffering to Guru, I will give suffering to Krishna. You are not giving suffering to them, you are giving suffering to your own self. Father, you cannot understand that service to Krishna is for your own benefit. Therefore actually you are just causing pain to your own self. Why? Because you are considering what is material and external to be important. You are not considering service to Krishna to be important. Also means what is external you consider important. But also another meaning, because you are reading the scriptures but you have no devotion, you always take the wrong meaning of the scriptures. Because you have no devotion, and the scriptures are the word of the Supreme Lord, you have no devotion, how you will understand what He really meant. Therefore, Father, Adam to Gobi, Vishatam Tinishwanda, because your senses are in control, you cannot have devotion. Therefore, devotion is because your senses are uncontrolled. Inclination towards service to Krishna cannot be achieved by your efforts, by the efforts of others, or by a combination of both. Hang on, that sounds like me. No matter how much Guru tries to instruct us about devotion, no matter how many Vaishnavas try to instruct us, the result is not achieved because we are not following the process properly, we are not following the instructions. Therefore, Father, Purna Purnas Chavada Chavanana, you are simply chewing the tube. That is material life. Our parents, they married, had children, did the 9 to 5. Were they happy? Put up your hand whose parents are happy. Don't lie. Happy, but is that happy permanent? Sometimes happy, but permanent happiness. If the wife dies, how happy the husband will be then? So what happens if they lose their job? If there's a nuclear strike in the city, then where's the happiness go? Therefore, happiness is temporary in this world. Therefore, they did the same. They had married, they had sex life, they had children, they tried to accumulate wealth, remove the stress and gain happiness. They were not successful. Were their parents successful? Were their parents successful? Were their parents successful? Who was ever happy in a life? Like someone chews sugar cane. You have sugar cane in California? Chewing gum, everyone knows chewing gum. You chew Wrigley's, you chew it for 3 hours, no taste left, you spit it on the pavement, then someone picks up. That's what it means, chewing what has been chewed. Since the beginning of creation, people have tried to be happy by sex life and family, material enjoyment. None of them were successful. And what do the parents do? You have to marry, you have to marry. Passing on the Wrigley's. Before Guru Maharaj would always make me speak, and then I'd tell this history, Guru would always like. What does it mean, chewing the chew? There was a dog, so he dug up a dinosaur bone. No meat, no flesh, nothing. And he was chewing that bone. What happened? All his gums and lips were lacerated. The dog was sucking the bone, he was sucking his own blood. And what was he thinking? Oh, very nice taste of this bone. Material enjoyment is like that. Actually, we are destroying ourselves, and that feeling we get when we destroy ourselves, that's called material happiness. But when you drink alcohol, the fuzzy feeling you feel in your brain, what's that? It's your brain dying. And people think happiness. When you take intoxication, that happiness is actually you dying. And people think that is happiness. So the dog is chewing the bone, So he's just chewing himself, sucking his own blood, becoming very sweet. Then what happened, especially in India? One dog has a bone, what do the other dogs do? 50 dogs chased the guy with the bone. And he was running. All the dogs were biting him. Finally, the dog dropped the bone. And then immediately he felt happy. And what happened? Another dog picked up the bone. He ran. Generation after generation, the same bone is being passed. And we're so foolish. Oh, yes, I will take the bone. Puna punas chavada chavana. Praladma said this. That bone is so-called material sense enjoyment. Chewing the chew. Hiranyakasipu, when he heard these instructions, he became furious. What did he say? Matena Krishna paratosa tavam mepo avipatate griha pratanam adanta gopi punam punas chavata chavananam. Then after that, what is that verse? Famous verse. So famous I forgot it. Huh? Mihesham yat pararajobi shekam iskinshnasyana nabivinatya. Thanksgiving. Prahlad Maharaj said, Father, and his father said, I have done great austerities, I also have knowledge of the scriptures, but I have not become inclined towards Krishna, but you have. Why? And Prahlad said, because you have not put the full dust of a perfected devotee in your head, if your mind has never gone towards Krishna. Hiranyakasipu grew his gold, pumped his feet. This boy cannot be rectified. He's like a dog's tail. Isn't it a dog's tail? Cut it off. Try and straighten it. As soon as you let it go, it always becomes curly. This boy is like a dog's tail. He cannot be rectified. Therefore, there are 4 ways of controlling persons. Now I will kill him. He ordered the demons to put him to death. They tried to kill Prahlad in many ways. They gave him poison. Prahlad offered the poison to the Supreme Lord and drank it. It became nectar. They threw him under the feet of wild elephants. As soon as the elephants touched Prahlad, they felt so much love for him. Snakes also. They threw Prahlad off cliffs, but he was caught by the Supreme Lord. He was always saved. Prahlad had no fear. Therefore, there are 9 limbs of devotion. Each one has one guru. Prahlad is the guru of Vishnu. What is it? Smaranam. Prahlad is the guru of always remembering Krishna because he never forgot Krishna even for a second. Not like us, some trouble comes, we forget everything. So Prahlad always remembered the Lord. If we pray to Prahlad Maharaj's mercy, Prahlad Maharaj ki pray for the mercy of Prahlad Maharaj, and we'll always remember Krishna. And if you remember Krishna, how suffering will touch you. They put Prahlad, like when they killed him, his father was depressed. We cannot kill him, son. He became depressed. This boy's strength is unlimited. We cannot finish him. Then Sandana Maka come. Don't worry. He is a young boy like bamboo. Like green bamboo, you can make into any shape. The Guru Maharaj said, in young age, people, very easy for them to accept devotion. In old age, they're like dry bamboo. You try and bend it too much, it breaks. This boy is like green bamboo. He can be made into any shape. Don't give up hope. Again, they put him in the school. Again, they instructed him on materialistic knowledge. And again, Prahlad never paid any attention to anything they said. And Prahlad always pleased them by his sweet behavior. Then, at the end, the teachers had to go somewhere. They asked Prahlad to be in charge of the school. So there's a saying in English, when the cats are away, the mice will play. So when the teachers left, remember what we used to do when the teacher would go? All the children began to play. We'll play Prahlad. Prahlad said, no. Don't waste your youth in play. Dharma charat project koruna charat pragyat dharman bhavataniya. From the age of 5 years old, you should begin the process of devotion. Where's Keshav? How old's Keshav? How old are you, Keshav? 4. Okay. 1 year left. One should begin from the age of 5 for devotion. They said, Prahlad, we can do devotion in old age. Prahlad said, no. There's no guarantee we will reach old age also. Then Prahlad said, if you have 100 years, and how much you sleep? How much we sleep? 12 hours. Come and see. 4. Half of life is wasted by sleep. Therefore, people even who lives 100 years these days. Anyone here know someone who's 100 years old? Who? She's not not so much sinful life. A few. Friolis, arroz, but really, very few people, I don't know anyone who's 100 years old. What's the average lifespan of the American? No?
75.
No.
79 for men, 80.
51. You're not counting live. You're only counting live births. What about abortion? Bhagavatam says the end of Kali Yuga lifespan will be less than 50 years. It's already 53. Abortion. So much abortion in this country. So, anyway. Prahlad said half life is lost by sleep. The first 10 years of childhood are wasting, being in nappies, passing store. The next 10 years are wasted in high school, college. How many years left? 50 minus 20 is how many? 30 years. The last 20 years of your life from 80 to 100. You cannot even digest food. Alzheimer's disease. You cannot remember anything, cannot do anything. How much is left? 10 years. In 10 years, you're going to get married, have a business, raise a family, and waste the time for devotion. So Prahlad said devotion should begin now, from the age of 5 years old. The boys asked him, what is devotion? Prahlad many instructions, but time is finished. You read Prahlad Maharaj's instructions to his school friends. And the boys said, but Prahlad, we never heard these teachings from our Sandra Namaka. Then Prahlad Maharaj told his life history, how he heard all these things from his Guru Narad while still in the womb. Prahlad, how does devotion begin? Then Prahlad said, Guru Sushu Sasaya Bhakta Sabha Labdha Panenicha. Sadhana Sangha Bhakta Namiswara Radhanenicha. Devotion begins with completely surrendering to Gurudev. And Sabha Labdha Panenicha, everything you have you should give him. What does that mean? All your independence you give to him. And what he says, you do that. That is the beginning of devotion. And what will Gurudev instruct you? Sangena Sangha Bhaktanam. Guru will instruct you the Vaishnava etiquette, how to associate with devotees. I mean, Gurudev will train you how to associate with Vaishnavas. And from the Vaishnavas and Guru, Isra Aradhanenacha. By the grace of the devotees, we'll learn everything about the process of devotion. But if we do not behave properly with Gurudev, do not behave properly with the Vaishnavas, then they won't teach us anything. Even if they try and instruct us, you'll never be able to understand. So, all these instructions, Iswara Arada Vedic. And Guru will teach you that process of how to worship the Lord, beginning with hearing and chanting about it. Prahlad gave so many wonderful instructions. He said, what is sex life? Like an itch. In the beginning you itch, and that itching is happiness. But the more you itch, what happens? You cannot stop itching. What happened? Then finally that itching becomes a source of all misery and suffering. That is material life. Prahlad Maharaj so many wonderful instructions. I'm very sorry we don't have a few weeks to discuss them. 2 or 3 chapters of instructions he gives. Those instructions are like jewels. Then finally the boys all began chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Like a disease is passed from one person to another. Prahlad's devotion infected all the boys. Guru Maharaj said, I know how to poison people because I was poisoned by my Guru. All the boys became absorbed in ecstasy of chanting the holy names. Everyone was very happy. The heavenly planets became full like a flood. Everyone was happy except Hiranyakasipu. If he was angry before, you could imagine now. He became furious. He took his sword. Oh, my demon assistants could not kill you, but I will kill you. Boy, you don't know who I am. Just by moving my eyebrows, like all the demigods in the heavenly planets are afraid. Hiranyakasipu was so powerful. He had personally controlled all the 33 million demigods. He was personally performing all the functions of the universe. That is how powerful he was. He was so powerful, normally if you do good things, you go to the heavenly planets. But he made it opposite. If you do bad things, you go to heaven. That's much he was powerful. He was controlling, he could just decide who would be given the 8 mystic perfections or not. Astasiddhis were also in his control. All riddhis, all siddhis. You read it in the end, the prayers that all the demigods offered in Srila. How powerful was Hiranyakasipu? Boy, all the credit, everyone in the universe is afraid just of my eyebrows, but you have no fear of me. Therefore, I will put your life to him. He took out his sword, I will kill you myself. Where you get your strength from? Prahlad said. The same place you get your strength from, Father. The one Supreme Lord. And Hiranyakasipu. You're always talking about a Bhagavan, a Supreme Lord who is everywhere, who is omniscient, omnipresent, but I cannot see him. God said, maybe you need to change your glasses. Supreme Lord cannot be seen by material vision, by material qualification. Supreme Lord is seen by Pramanjana, Chirudaya, Bhaktivedan. Santasadeva Vridiya Suvaloki Antim Yat Shama Sundana Vachinte Guna Surupa Govindamadi Purusham Tamahamajan. Supreme Lord can only be seen by the eyes of pure devotion. You have no devotion, you cannot see him. Then Hiranyakasipu said, your Lord is everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Prahlad said, yes, he is there also. Hiranyakasipu struck the pillar with his fist to prove that the words of the devotees are always true. The Lord manifested from the pillar, an astonishing form. What form? What did he look like? Half man, half lion. For that incarnation, his name is Narasingha. Nara means man, human. Singha means lion. The top portion of his form was like a lion, the bottom half was like a man, like a human. Why? We will hear. They fought for hundreds of years because the Lord had a desire to fight, so he was satisfying his desire. For hundreds of years they were fighting. Then finally the demigods prayed, please, please, Lord. The Lord also sometimes would appear as if he was being defeated, so the demigods began perspiring. Because they were all chanting, Na Sringa, Na Sringa, Na Sringa. And then when the Lord is about to be defeated, Such is the Lord's pastimes. The demigod said, please, please, Lord, stop this pastime. Quickly finish him. So, what time is it? Sunset? What time's that? What time?
7:49.
7:49. Right. Okay. Okay, it doesn't matter. Control yourself. Why? Because everyone's fasting today. Even people not drinking water. So everyone go, quickly, Lord, come, quickly. Oh Lord, when will you appear to us in the form of... Why are we fasting today? Okay, Dinabanu. Why we fast today? Christians very kind, very merciful. Buddha says you have to hold butter and butter melts. The Christian is more soft than butter. When he sees mind and body for me, they are fasting for my happiness. And Krishna gives so much mercy. So the Lord appeared from a pillar, and he took the demon at the time of dusk, put him on his lap. Why? And he ripped out his stomach, he ripped out his heart and with the fingernails. Why the Lord took that form, why he killed him in such a way? Because Hiranyakasipu would ask for the benediction, I will not be killed in the daytime or the nighttime. Therefore the Lord killed him at dusk, that is not day or night. He killed him sitting on his lap. The lap is not on the ground, nor is it in the sky. He killed him on the doorway of the palace. The doorway is not inside or outside. He could not be killed by any weapon, therefore the Lord used his fingernails. He could not be killed by anything living or dead. The fingernails are not living, the fingernails are not dead. What else? He would not be killed by any man or any beast, therefore the Lord took the form of half man, half beast. He would not be killed by any created being. The Lord is not a created being, he is the creator. He would not be killed in 12 months of the year. Therefore in the West they follow the sun calendar. Remember 30 days have September, April, June and November, all the rest have 31 except February which has 29 in a leap year. Then the solar calendar there's sometimes 30 days, sometimes 31 days. In the lunar calendar there's always 30 days. Including the Amavasya and the full moon as well. What university you went to? So, understand in the solar and the lunar eclipse there's a difference, a few days every year. So in the course of 3 years that makes an extra month. That month is called Purushottam month. That Purushottam month is, the Lord killed him in that month. So he was not killed within the 12 months of the year. So in order to respect his devotee Lord Brahma, Lord Krishna killed Hiranyakasipu in this extraordinary manner. He ripped out his heart, took his intestines and made a garland around his neck. Hare Krishna love ki. Means the Lord was unlimitedly angry. That anger in a normal person is a fault, but in the Lord it's a quality because he's angry out of affection for his devotee. Therefore Krishna has unlimited qualities. What's his best quality? His affection for the devotees. So the Lord was so angry. He cast the body of Hiranyakasipu, sprinkled in blood with the intestines around his neck. He was very, very angry. The demigods had never seen such a form. The demigods were all afraid to go and offer prayers. Even they said to Lakshmi, the Lord's consort, you go and offer prayers, ladies first. Even Lakshmi was afraid. They said to Prahlad, Prahlad, you go. Prahlad was not afraid. He jumped on the Lord's lap. Prahlad is a Gyani Bhakta. No material desires. Therefore he had no fear, no bodily conception of life. The Lord was so much affectionate with Prahlad, he began weeping. Oh Prahlad, please forgive me, I was late. On my behalf, you had to suffer so much. Just like a lioness is very dangerous. to non-lions. A lioness is very affectionate to her cubs, but to others she is a form of death. So to the devotees, the Lord is very affectionate, and to non-devotees he appears like death, very angry. So the Lord was very pleased. He began licking Prahlad. At Hiranyakasipu, the Lord had a desire. Because when the Lord was licking him like a mother, who was happier? Was Lord Nrsimhadev felt more happiness, or Prahlad felt more happiness? Prahlad felt more happiness. If you bounce a kid in your lap, you're having a good time. The kid's having so much fun. So when the Lord saw Prahlad is so much satisfied by my parental affection towards him, but I have no mother and father because I came from a stone pillar. If the Lord developed a desire, I want to experience the love of a mother and father. So in all the future incarnations, the Lord appeared as the son of Dasarata, Kausalya, Nanda, Yasoda, Satyamata, Jagannatha. Then Prahlad offered wonderful prayers. 2 whole chapters of Bhagavad Purana is the prayers of Prahlad. All knowledge of Krishna Tattva is there from beginning to end. Then Lord Nrsimhadev said, Prahlad, please choose, take a benediction. I want to bless you. Ask for anything. What did Prahlad ask for? Oh Lord, that you'll think that I will ask for something that is a matter of great shame for me. I have no material desires. I am not serving you for material compensation. Recompense. We come to Krishna, we come to the mosque, the synagogue, the church. What are we praying for? Dhanam Dehi, Janam Dehi. Oh Krishna, oh God, oh Bhagavan, oh Allah. Please, I have disease, remove my disease. Please protect my grandmother. She has a lung condition. Please protect my children. Give me a job, give me this, give me that. Is we the servants of God or God our servants? We come to with our shopping list. And if he doesn't fulfill our desires, no matter. I'm changing, I'm going back to the 7-day Adventists. Therefore Prahlad said, I am not serving you for some material recompense. I am not a businessman, I am not a prostitute. Therefore, did you think that I would ask something? That means there must be some desire in my heart that you can see. Please bless me, I have no material desires. And the Lord said, Prahlad, you are already like that. Therefore, for my happiness, you have no material desires, therefore you should ask for something. For my happiness you should ask. Then Prahlad asked, my father has made so many offenses to you. Therefore please bless him, give auspiciousness to him. Hiranyakasipu said, Prahlad, someone who is your father, how he can have an inauspicious destination? 21 generations of a pure devotee are delivered. If someone becomes a beginning devotee, 7 generations are delivered. And if someone becomes a middle class devotee, 14 generations are delivered. If Prahlad, your father, is already delivered, choose another benediction. What did Prahlad ask for? And here you become blessed. He said, I have nothing to ask. I have no misery, no suffering. The devotee is always full of bliss, full of ecstasy. Suffering can never touch them. If Prahlad said, I have nothing to ask on my account, I am only worried for those fools who have forgotten you, how much they are miserable. Therefore he asked, Lord, give me the benediction. I will take the sins of every living entity in the creation. I will go to hell and they will all go to hell. As in Prabhupada in his commentary wrote, Lord Jesus, he promised, I will just take the sins of those who come to me. But Prahlad Maharaj is millions of times more magnanimous. Because Prahlad Maharaj said, I will take the sins of everyone, whether they follow me or not. How much he is kind, how much he is merciful. When Prahlad saw that, Lord Nrsimhadev began weeping. Such is the greatness of my devotees. Prahlad, that is impossible. That you will go to hell. Instead of giving that benediction, I give the benediction. Whoever hears this pastime, they will come to me. Bhagavan Nrsimhadev ki! They will come to me. So, Hare Krishna. So Nrsimhadev is that incarnation who specifically is concerned with removing the obstacles of the devotees. If our goal is not Lord Nrsimhadev, our goal is Radha Krishna. But in our present state, it's not so easy to approach Radha Krishna. We are full of unwanted desires, full of obstacles. Therefore, today we are approaching Lord Nrsimhadev and we are praying, please remove all my faults, my obstacles, my material desires. Please remove that. And give me the qualification to approach Radha Krishna. So now, everyone, we have Abhishek. It's like when a great person appears, in English they have a baby shower, right? Something like that. When the Supreme Lord appears, we also have one welcome ceremony. So we bathe him in many liquids, like ghee, yogurt, milk, sugar water, rose water, honey, anything. That much we have, that much we give. So we're going to sing one kirtan that is called Dasavata Stotra. So during the Abhishek, we're going to sing that. Then some Mahamantra, then afterwards we're going to offer all foodstuffs to Krishna, then we'll have Aarti. So please, everyone, don't go without eating. So much, I guess most of you are not going to leave without eating because most of you are fasting. Shri Bhagavan Nrsimhadev ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. What's he sing on?
all get the hang of it. We're going to sing it together now. Chata